Thank you for watching this video. Today, I will be introducing some little-known facts of Singapore's one and only monorail system. Throughout this video, please pay attention to the unusual aspects of the stations and the related history behind them. I am at Vivo City Station, the starting point of the 2.1-kilometre Sentosa Express, which originates from Vivo City on mainland Singapore, ferrying tourists to Sentosa, a popular tourist attraction known for its tropical sandy beaches. The line opened on the 15th of January 2007 as part of a 10-year redevelopment plan for the island. It was designated as an indirect replacement for the original Sentosa monorail, which did not serve mainland Singapore, ceasing operation in 2005. This station is integrated with the popular Vivo City Mall and Harbourfront MRT station, resulting in a high passenger count. Let's enter the fare gates and proceed to the next stop along the line, Resorts World Station. As we cross Sentosa Gateway and officially enter the State of Fun, we are greeted by magnificent picturesque views of the surrounding area. The line then makes a turn to the right, before entering a peculiar tunnel made out of what seems like rocks. Coupled with the cement floor and the prominent emergency exits, the tunnel gives a rather unnatural feel. As we exit the tunnel, we can see Universal Studios Singapore on the right side. Maybe the fake tunnel was built as part of the theme park, so as to hide the monorail from being an eyesore to the visitors. Please keep this in mind, as this development closely relates to a fascinating story. Shortly after that, we arrive at the first stop of the line, Resorts World Station. As the name suggests, this station serves the adjacent Resorts World Sentosa, one of Singapore's two integrated resorts, IRs, the other being Marina Bay Sands. It features state-of-the-art facilities such as hotels, shops and recreational spots. Unsurprisingly, most passengers alight at this station, as Resorts World accounts for one of the most tourist arrivals in Sentosa. Let's put this station aside for now and move on to the next stop, Imbiah Station, the primary station for access to the now-gone Sentosa Merlion as well as the Singapore cable car. Imbiah Station is located adjacent to Resorts World, with only 30 seconds required to travel in between the two stations. Let's get off at the platform. At first glance, a major difference is the considerably lower utilization of this station, justifying the narrow platform design. Measuring the station platform width, it is approximately 68 meters wide. The floor tiles have a rather outdated color scheme, and we can see 2 rows of glass windows on the ceiling of the station. The lift is a regular Schindler adorned with Sentosa advertisements, featuring a rather small capacity of 11 people and 750 kilograms. As you walk along the corridor connecting to the main exit, you can feel the crane design. At the concourse area, red stone tiles catch your eye, a design trend relatively uncommon in the 2010s. The escalators are also of the Schindler brand, which feel rather narrow. Let's get to the back of the platform, where there is a small dilapidated door and a rather poorly maintained wall, certainly emphasizing the station's age. Getting back onto the train, let's return our attention to Resorts World Station. Being a stone's throw away from Imbiah, we quickly arrive at the station. Let's step onto the platform. The most noticeable difference will be the high utilization of the station, a drastic change from the rather quiet and isolated Imbiah station. Contrary to the ceiling at Imbiah, there is strangely only a singular row of glass panels. The floor pattern has a duller color scheme which feels more modern, being a rather popular color scheme in more recent times. In addition, there are hanging ceiling lights which are absent from Imbiah station. However, the platform width is where the differences become more apparent. The platforms at Resorts World Station measure roughly 7.9 meters wide, around 1 meter wider than Imbiah station. Perhaps this is to cater to the higher passenger count at this station? The inconsistencies continue as we can easily compare the smooth plastic cladding of Resorts World Station together with the cement walls at Imbiah station in the distance. The cladding makes Resorts World Station seem strangely newer. One thing in common though, is the rather narrow Schindler escalators. Walking out of the station, we are greeted by the magnificent sight of Resorts World Sentosa, a popular attraction for both tourists and locals alike. Please keep all this in mind as we will soon uncover the mystery of the inconsistencies between the stations. Re-entering the station, let's ride the glass lift, which at first glance differs significantly from the regular lift at Imbiah station. This lift has a larger capacity of 950 kilograms and 14 passengers, bigger than the one at Imbiah. The glass windows surely provide a beautiful view of the modern surrounding area, a far cry from the boring regular elevators at Imbiah station. Now that we have noticed the subtle differences between both stations, you may be wondering, why do the irregularities exist? In this section, I will be referring Waterfront Station as Resorts World Station and vice versa. If you remember, Resorts World Station serves Resorts World Sentosa, which opened its doors in 2010, a couple of years later than the Sentosa Express line itself, which debuted in 2007. Taking a look at Google Satellite and Street View images from 2009, we can clearly see all the other stations on the line, Sentosa, now Vivo City, Imbiah, and Beach being fully operational, while Waterfront Station was still under construction along with the resort. Waterfront Station had its name changed to Resorts World in recent years, likely to reduce confusion among visitors. As such, the line opened in 2007 with only 3 stations, without Waterfront, which only entered service in 2010, in conjunction with the opening of Resorts World Sentosa. This explains why the architecture at Resorts World Station feels more modern, since it was opened at a later date compared to other stations along the line. Remember the unnatural cave earlier in the video? Yes, it was also added along with Resorts World Sentosa's opening. Here's where the story gets more complicated though. Some sources state that there was an original waterfront station that was built and then demolished to make way for a new station in anticipation of the higher capacity expected from Resorts World Sentosa. Another possibilities would be that Waterfront was an infill station that was only built at a later date, similar to Canberra and Dover stations on the north-south and east-west lines respectively. The first scenario seems possible despite seeming unrealistic, as the Sentosa Express contract was awarded back in 2002, way before the concept of Resorts World Sentosa was born, as it was only brought up in 2006. As a result, contractors working on the monorail project back then were unaware of the future of the area surrounding Waterfront Station, which was not as developed in the past, therefore enabling designers to conclude that Waterfront Station did not need to accommodate large crowds. However, a twist of events eventually happened with Resorts World Sentosa commencing construction in 2007, forcing designers to rethink the required capacity of Waterfront Station. Ultimately though, there is unfortunately inadequate data to conclude what the reality really was. Whatever the case may be, let's just say it's up to you to decide which scenario you think is true. If you know what it was like back then, please leave a comment down below to share your experiences. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you've learnt something new. If you have enjoyed watching this, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Do also consider purchasing Super Thanks so that I can continue to publish amazing content. Goodbye, and see you soon.
Doors are closing.